Amen.
No Deuce Sims. Do
No,
we got any representative of Deuce Sims down there?
let me check the group one more time.
I tell you what, T's always a great neutral guys. Bring T. Is T down there? You see T down there?
I just seen T. I'm looking for him right now. T.
No,
Come on. Yep, I got him.
you got him. You got a bean to pull somebody up?
Oh, I sure don't have a bean. I just tried.
Go ahead. Yo,
All
pull him up. Pull T up. Well,
right.
we've been here about 10, 15 minutes. T, come off your mic.
Yo.
I don't want to be the one asking. So we got Reggie right up top right. Reg, come off your mic, bro.
All right.
We got Reggie at right, top right. Reggie Wright contacted Greg Kadings. Greg Kadings was the lead investigator. I'm probably saying this shit wrong. He'll tell you more on that case. To where well, fuck it, Greg. Tell them who you are.
That's funny. So yeah. I was a cop in LA. I ended up working on Tupac and Biggie's murder investigations back in the 2000s, and then I left and wrote a book about it called Murder Rap. So yeah, I had an opportunity to kind of like dive deep into all of the different theories and accusations and ideas behind what had happened with both Pac and Big, and that's it.
All right, so Greg, Reggie sent you a document. Um, and I'm looking at that and looking at the names. MS, I'm identifying that as Mark Stevens. DD, I know is Dale Dog. And they got a name on there called Back, BACK, and it has some shit. Let me pull this shit up so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Back, and it has some shit says CS2. Now, can you tell the people what my position of in this case? How did Cash Jones, Wack 100, how did I get involved or implemented in this case with the
All
guy
right.
with the box?
Okay. So it all started when there was an FBI agent who told us that he had an informant that could potentially give us some information about Suge Knight that may help us further our investigation into the murders of Tupac and Biggie. That's where it all started. And so we went and met with this informant, and it turned out to be Box. And we sat down. It was like on Melrose or Santa Monica. And he pulled up in his Bentley, and we sat down at a Starbucks and started chop it up. And he gave us this information that led to you. And so we didn't know what
Information.
was real.
What the hell was the information that led to me?
Well, the information was that if we looked into you, we might find some things out that would help us maybe get some leverage on Suge.
All
So
right.
it was just like that. And so we're like, all right, we didn't know any better. We're like, well, FBI says this guy, is worth listening to.
So
So
the
we
guy we
listened.
talking about that we're listening to is Stutterbox.
Right.
So Greg, before you go any further, how long does a motherfucker gotta be like working with the FBI before they're calling a guy like you that's investigating the case as serious as you have to say was he's a reliable source?
Hey,
Well,
hey,
that's that.
Greg, explain to him the different level of informants you have, and that answers the question better.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's a CI, which is a confidential informant. There's a CRI, which is a confidential, reliable informant. There's a witness. There's different levels of informants and sources of information. And so as cops, we're just going to listen to everybody, and in time, you prove whether or not they're reliable or not. but you don't just disregard somebody because you haven't proven their reliability. So, I don't know what Box had going on, the whole Main Street thing and all his drama and background going on with that case. I became involved in it later, but at that point in time, they're just saying, hey, you should talk to this guy. He may be able to give you some information that will help with your case. That's it.
Hey,
So
Greg, so could you tell them what level they told you that he was? Was he reliable? Was he a CI? Had he worked in the past for them? Or what if you could tell just a different level that
well,
they represented to you that he was?
yeah, and to be perfectly honest, I don't remember exactly what the language was or what qualifications were. It was just like, hey, we have this guy says he can help you guys out. We're working with him on something else, and so you know, give him the time to hear him out, and that's it. I don't remember if they said
Yeah.
he's
Well, in the
established as a
movie y'all
reliable.
portrayed him, you portrayed him as a reliable, meaning that he gave reliable information in the past in the movie. Just FYI.
Yeah, well, it's a movie, so, people do what they're going to do to make these stories more entertaining. I'm
Okay.
just telling
So
you that what actually happened.
It was your
when
But
you got
movie.
with Box, hold on, Reggie. When you got with Box, Box tells you that this guy that if you look into him, might could give you or lead you to him doing some illegal business with Suge Knight. That was his whole thing.
yes,
And that guy was me.
you're right.
So where did it go from there?
So we said, all right, we'll give this information the benefit of the doubt. And we began to kind of look at you and figure, okay, well, the claim is that they're doing interstate transportation of narcotics. And so we do what we do in order to determine if there's any truth to that. And so we start investigating you. And as it runs its course. We don't find anything incriminating or anything to validate the claims that Box had made. And
Well,
then,
what steps did you take, Greg? Like did things happen to me with my home? Like y'all really fucking looked into me.
yeah, we did. We looked into you. We wiretapped you and started to track your truck and do everything we could to verify whether or not the information that we were receiving was valid. And ultimately, it turned out not to be. We did a search warrant at your house and came up pretty much empty-handed, with the exception of some worn-out old gun that I think belonged to your wife's dad or some shit like that. And but that was it. It was ultimately a fucking waste of time.
All right, so then um uh I then came down to, I believe that's the federal headquarters on fucking Wilshire. I think in my representation at the time might have been Jeff Brody, right?
Hmm.
Uh, so I guess the story is when I came down to Wilshire, I came down there to inform and not pick up whatever little items I had, or I don't know what the fuck that was, but I know I had to come down to that Wilshire building, and I came down with my legal, which was Jeff Brody. I guess his whole narrative is I went to the Wilshire building to inform, which I don't know why I would have to inform because I was never subject to any arrests or anything like that. So you let them know what my trip down to the Wilshire building entailed.
Yeah, so I remember that day, and you came down there, and we basically just confronted you on the allegations, and explained to you why we were doing what we were doing, giving you the opportunity, um, with the hopes that you would know something that could help us out. Turned out you really didn't have any information that was beneficial to what we were pursuing. But that was it. We said, hey, here's why we're here. Here's how we got here. And this is all there, ultimately is to it, unless you have something you want to tell us, which was essentially nothing.
All right, and then in your paperwork, I don't know. How was I referred to? Was I referred to Wack, Cash Jones? They have this back name. I don't know who the fuck back is. I don't know. I know I've never had that moniker, but I don't know. Maybe it was some coded shit. Or how did you recall referring to me through all the paperwork when you guys were like listening in on my wiretaps? So like saying, okay, this is Wack, this is Cash Jones on the wiretap. What was I referred to in your because I've never looked over that paperwork, never had a need to. What was I referred to?
Well, you would have been identified as a referred to most likely as like a target, and like your phone would have been target number, or your license plate would have been target whatever. It would have been, clearly understandable to anybody reading it that this has something to do with this car, this phone, this person. We wouldn't have referred to you as an informant because you never were. We would have referred to you as a target or a source of, um, not a source of information because you weren't even that. So, uh, you know, I'm a little vague on it right now because it's been a while, but you would have been we would have referred to you by your name, Cash Jones. We don't usually use monikers under those circumstances, like Wack or Wack 100. It would just been, a
Well, shit,
target.
Wack 100. I don't think Wack 100 existed yet.
It may
Wack,
not have.
no, he wasn't. He wasn't created.
I don't know.
Uh, all right. Well, listen, man, Reggie, I fucking appreciate you.
No
This was
problem.
a guide in because I don't like to do all the back and forth about the shit. Um, T, you here?
Yes,
Come on,
sir.
Mike. I tried to get Lamonte, the guy who had the allegations. T, Beast, y'all got any questions? Anything you may feel like you want to ask? I wasn't over there in this room. Uh,
They said something about you going somewhere to 100 and something floors.
no, that's the federal building that he said I came to with my attorney.
Right, right.
He addressed that. Beast, you got any questions?
I just seen Ghost come in. He was one of the ones over there.
Ghost. No, that's the dude. What is he? Just GHOT? But
Yeah, GHOST.
well, shit. I don't hear T. You grab him if you're down there. I really wish one of them was in here, but I can let Greg go. See if he'll come up because I know Ghost. He really got a thing for me, so he gonna ask some great questions. Yo, Greg, how successful was that movie, man, on Netflix, man? It's still one of the top picks I see up there, the Unsolved.
They got it pretty much right. It's Hollywood, so they've got to do their thing in order to make it entertaining. So I'm not going to say it's 100% accurate, but as far as the investigation goes and the conclusions of the investigations, it was solid. I truly believe, and well, I'll say I know that what we said in the ultimate explanation for how Pac and Big died, I know that to be the truth.
Got you.
Um,
Hey, hey,
but
Greg, did you ever hear that interview with Biggie's mom where she said she believed 97% of the information from that
Yeah,
uh, to be accurate?
well, I did actually, and more importantly, that's exactly when I met with her and spoke with her, that's what she told me face to face. And so she's caught in a weird position. She's just it's a tough position for her to commit to anything. A, because of the amount of money that got spent trying to pursue a false theory, and B, she has to keep things open for her grandkids, because ultimately, if new information came out that was reliable and provable, her kids could open up that lawsuit I'm sorry, her grandkids could open up that lawsuit again. So she's in a position where she has to play it strategically. I think she believes what I had to say was true, but she doesn't know in the depths of her heart that it's true, and so she's just keeping things open.
No,
Yeah, that
I think
was
97% is a high percentage though.
yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm 100%. So it's never going to go anywhere, But I don't fault her for doing it the way she's doing it.
Hey, I know because I know because I've been contacted by him. What do you think is going to happen on the Keefe D situation? I know we're getting off subject, but I think they wait for somebody to come up to ask you a question. Uh, have you? Can you divulge if you've been contacted recently on that matter? I put out a video about on Bomb First about 2 months ago saying that I, I believe that Keefe D is going to be arrested soon. I know that detective that's on the case is trying to close the case up. What's your
That's like
feelings or what you're
Nevada
thinking?
now, right? Is that Nevada now, Reggie?
Yeah, we talking about Nevada now.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's on Tupac's case, and so yeah, I got contacted by the current investigator, who's apparently going to be retiring soon, and kind of wants to put this whole thing to rest once and for all before he retires. So I spoke with him, and he said you know, uh, his intentions are to try to resolve the whole thing before he leaves, but whether that happens or not, we'll see. I mean, there's so many different obstacles to overcome with this shit.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man. Yo, T, anyone want to come up?
I sent Money Train the invite. Ghost
All
ain't
right.
come back.
All right. Well, shit.
They just like to talk here to you, Wack. They don't like to get the facts debated.
I mean,
They just like to talk here and tap at people.
one thing about me, and one thing I remember Greg said to me when I went down there and we closed this shit out with my legal beagle, my attorney. He said, "Man, you different from the others. Just keep doing what you're doing. You'll be all right." So Reggie, I'm a thinker. I work outside the box. I may come from someplace, but that ain't. As this man investigate, how many fucking months did you investigate me, Greg? 9 months, 8 months, 6 months? How long was that shit?
Oh, jeez, I don't know. It seemed like a long time. I feel like it was at least 6 months because we were doing several different investigations that were overlapping. We were doing the whole Main Street thing with Doe Dog, and all the shit going on with Starter Box and that whole thing at the same time. Like we're literally in the same room listening
Talking
to
about
the
when he
same
filed them
phones.
kidnapping charges against the Main Streets.
What's that?
Talking about when he filed the kidnapping charges against those 7 8 dudes from Main
Yeah.
Street.
So,
Gotcha.
we were up on Dell's phone, and I think some cat named Wood or something like that. And then I can't remember everybody, but like there's this whole large investigation going on with the main streets. And then we got Keefe D going on, and then we got you going on. And so we're all in this room and just kind of cross referencing everything, trying to figure out what's what. And so, I mean, there was a
You
lot
could tell
going
them they
on.
came knocking on my door too.
And then, of course,
Yo,
yeah. And then, of course, the Reggie component
yo,
to it
money train.
all.
Come up, Q. Train.
Yeah, I'm on here.
Yeah, I wasn't in that room over there, but is there any questions or anything you may have heard? This is the lead detective on that case and the documents. He been answering questions. Any questions or anything you might have heard over there that you want to ask a question about?
Nah, I was not really listening. I was trying to really get what they was trying to say at the end because I was driving, getting
All
me
right.
something to eat, but I really didn't get a chance to really hear it in
It'll be
full.
on the replay. Greg right here, he's the one unsolved. You see on Netflix, the Biggie Tupac thing, the book Murder Rap, which is still on damn, what's the name of that book thing? Because I downloaded. Where is it at, Greg? The book Murder Rap. Where can they find that?
I just pull that off Amazon.
Amazon Murder Rap. Amazon author Greg Cadence. You can go to the chapter called Stutter Box. You'll see photos of me and all that shit and the whole storyline of me, how I got implemented and all that. He breaks that down. He just answered all the questions. This little document I got a hold of, and he breaks down that I would have been identified as a target, not a CI, a CS, or none of that. And my name would have been simply Cass Jones, not whoever this back dude is. So I don't want to hold you, Greg. Hey, Reg, I appreciate you for pulling that
No
string.
problem. Also, it's Unsolved as well is where the main information come at in the TV show Unsolved. You guys, yep.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. I know you can find it on Netflix. I watch at least once a month. Um,
You watch
yeah,
Netflix once
I
a
don't, I
month.
don't think that truck driver look like me, man. That truck driver dude, he don't look like me.
Duh. Oh man, I had nothing to do with the casting of it, Cash. If I'd had something to do with the casting, I would just called you.
Yeah, you love the guy that played you though.
y'all at least could have gave K Slate some promo and put the Straight Stud magazines back then, man.
Oh yeah, I guess I could have.
Hey man, I appreciate you, man, taking the
Yeah.
time. Yo, Greg, you still active or you retired, right?
Oh man, I retired in 2010. It's been a
Oh,
minute.
oh
Yeah.
shit. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
goddamn.
Greg worked for the Amber Alerts. He the one to go around teach people how to work Amber Alerts and stuff.
God. Reg, I appreciate you. Greg, I appreciate you, man.
All
All
right,
Uh,
right,
bro.
Cash.
I
All right,
appreciate
all
you. You
right.
know how to look. The top right says leave quietly. Then that's how you can leave. You
Thanks,
know.
Greg.
You
Appreciate you.
guys got it. I'll talk to you, man. Be good.
All right,
All right, bro.
all right. King, yo, you can start bouncing everybody up. This is how y'all deal with accusations. This is why, see, train. This is why I be telling them when you come fucking with Wack, don't come with no bullshit, cause I'm overdo it. I'm not even gonna argue with you about it. Call my man Reggie Wright. Reggie Wright called the motherfucking lead detective who did the paperwork
Straight to the
and
source.
let him tell. I mean, beast. And then I invited the nigga Deuce M's. I unblocked him everything,
You kept the
so he
floor
could have
clear for
came.
them. They can't have no accusation. Nah, that's bullshit.
He
They don't
could
want to
have
come. That's
came
on
and
him.
asked the questions
Yeah,
himself.
that's a fact. He could have done that shit himself the right way. He gonna make up some excuse now. That's bullshit. If he didn't want to come, that's on him. Fuck
Nah.
him.
All right. Well, it's on the replay, so hopefully he can take that back to his room and have a motherfucker ball with that. It's
I,
all
I
it's
told
all
them
your fault, T.
they had their
They all
chance.
had
I
the
went over there
opportunity.
and
Him,
told them
Make
Lil
the
Shit,
myself.
all of
make
them had
the
the
make this
opportunity to
shit
come,
right.
but they didn't want to.
I
They wanted
told them
to think like
myself.
they want to
What's
run the
up?
program. Nah, they ain't the program.
I
I
know
mean,
they know
listen,
because I went straight over there
That
and
would have
told them.
boosted Blood's clout if he would have did what he wanted to do. You feel that nigga stupid. Whatever
no,
he was looking for was right
listen,
there.
Bumpy. He not what he gonna do? Come over here. He didn't ran a whole false narrative.